If you love me, please don't judge me. Got my hands tied, the power's above me. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just a puppet here. If you wanna place blame, then look to the puppeteer. Family, fortune, envy, jealousy, privilege, passed on, legacy, secret, sabotage, borderline, felony, suicide, subtract, selfish, pedigree, yeah.
So it's now that official time of year. We are now officially at the chase for the Bill France Cup. So of course we're now down to our final 16 drivers, and of course this season marks a lot of things in NASCAR. The start of a new era with the next gen car. Of course driver safety is very questionable at this time, and everyone already hating this format because of a driver that was top 5 in points missing out, but a driver near 20th in points gets in because of a win. Everyone already hating this format before the playoff chase even begins. But of course, we still got a chase to go through. And we must find out who will be claiming the 2022 Bill France Cup. So with that all said, let's go ahead, let's meet our 16 contestants this year. So of course, we have our regular season champion Chase Elliott entering as the number 1 seed. So for Chase Elliott, he's been the fastest driver all year. It really didn't look like it for him the first part of the regular season, but the second half of the regular season, especially during the summer break, he channeled a little bit of his inner Tony Stewart and went on a tear in the summer with 6 straight top 2 finishes, Jesus Christ. Including 4 wins, technically 3, mainly only getting Pocono because of a double DQ, but Chase is still respectable of his own right. He's even formed a new identity with that 9 team because their name of the game has usually been the dominant car on road courses. That has changed. They have won all their races on 4 different kinds of ovals this year, from tracks like Dover, Nashville, Atlanta, and Pocono. Well, we all know the expectations for Chase in HMS this year. It's championship or bust. Anything short of that, Chase, it's considered a failure. The good news is a lot of the regular season champions have had good success in the chase. So, that's one good omen for you right there. So, Logano is back in the chase as well this year, even getting 2 wins this year. Winning in controversial fashion at Darlington in the throwback race, and then winning at Gateway in the inaugural Gateway race. He also had that win in the Clash at the LA Coliseum, but that win doesn't count because that was a gimmick exhibition race. But Logano, he's been pretty quietly consistent all season. He's been under the radar. But we all know Logano, one thing we know for sure is he always knows how to go deep in the chase. That's almost a given anytime he makes the chase. And let me put this in perspective real quick. This is an even number year for Logano. And every year under this format, Logano has always made the final 4 on an even number year. So expect Logano to be a player in this championship this year. So, of course, one of the big surprise stories of the season has been Ross the Melon Boss Chastain. As Chastain has had a career year with Trackhouse Racing, officially putting Trackhouse on the map. As Chastain would get 2 wins, winning at Coda and then winning at Talladega. But so far, the big highlights for him this year have been controversially his run-ins with multiple drivers throughout the year. Now let me get this straight for his antics. Every once in a while, I get it, shit happens, you're gonna have a run-in with somebody at some point. But it feels like Chastain's having a run-in with somebody nearly every single week. And that's usually a bad habit. His reputation in the garage is going to be questioned a lot throughout this chase. I don't expect anybody to give him any breaks throughout this chase. But can Chastain use his aggressive driving ability to win a championship and surprise the world? It will be tough to say, but one thing's guaranteed: the field will not make it easy on him this year, that's for sure. So, we have the reigning, defending, undisputed NASCAR heavyweight champion of the world, Kyle Larson. And really, you look at Larson's team this year, it's the same team as last year. Granted, their speed isn't the same as last year, only having 2 wins this year. Granted, both wins came at the expense of Chase Elliott, and a lot of salty Elliott fans will put asterisk on both, saying, oh, Larson couldn't win if Elliott could have touched him. Well, I can say all those salty Elliott fans could suck my dick, because shit, Larson is the fucking man. The one issue at Larson this year has been reliability. He's had 6 DNFs this year, 3 of them by engine failures. So, the Larson, this team, they have the talent to go deep. But can they have reliable enough equipment to get there? That there alone will make Larson one of the biggest boom or bust picks for the championship this year. Use them at your own risk. And the William Byron season has been very weird this year. He had the 2 wins this year, and then you look at his numbers this year, he's only had 5 top 10s. Like, he's had a very weird year. Like, he hasn't had a top 10 finish since Sonoma. To be perfectly honest, though, that incident between him and Logano at Darlington, that kind of derailed his season a bit. It's really hard to say if Byron has been bad this year, or if he's just having bad luck, or if the 24 team has been testing and tuning some stuff up for the chase, so that's a time will tell type deal. I mean, if they come out of the gate swinging, then it was obvious they were just sandbagging the whole regular season to get ready for the chase. Like, you look at his numbers, they're worse than Alex Bowman's numbers. We all know Bowman is inconsistent as hell, but Byron? And you can all blame and say that Logano wrecking him at Darlington ruined this season, but let me be clear about this. Great drivers can overcome that kind of adversity. Byron hasn't done that yet. You want me to see, Byron, you want to prove to me that you can overcome adversity? Wake me when you make the Final 4, and then we'll talk. So Denny Hamlin's had a very uncharacteristic season. Like, he's had a season plagued full of bad luck. Like, everything that could have gone wrong for him went wrong for him this year. But yeah, Hamlin did get the 2 wins, but he was just plagued by a lot of bad luck. Now, he has had some good runs the last couple months to really help ease the blow, but with those good runs, I'd say watch out for Hamlin. I wouldn't sleep on Hamlin. I think Hamlin's going to go a lot deeper than some people may think. Like, we've seen Hamlin, he's made the Final 4 the last 3 years in a row. Hamlin's one of the biggest sleepers for the championship this year. I mean, this season could be the most Hamlin way to win a championship after he's done literally fuck all season. That's probably the only way Hamlin wins a championship in his career, is if he does fuck all. Will Hamlin finally do it, or will he add another painful chapter to that legacy of failure of his? So, Ryan Blaney is back in the chase again. This year hasn't been really a very characteristic season for Blaney. He didn't even win, or he's the only driver in the chase this year without a win. Like, his name of the game has been consistency all year with top 5s and top 10 finishes and stage points. He's had some speed, he's had some good runs, but he just can't put it all together. Especially the fact that he's gone 0 for 10 in races that he's led over 100 plus laps in. Good God, that's terrible. Like, I get it if you have good runs and you don't win every now and then, it's going to happen. But when it happens every single time, that's usually the signs of a bad driver. And keep this in mind, Blaney, you're only in the chase this year because of Kurt Busch withdrawing his waiver. If Kurt Busch was medically cleared for the chase, you would have been out of the chase. Just remember that. Now go out there and prove me wrong, Blaney. So Tyler Reddick has actually had a really solid, underrated season. The point standings may not show it, but he's had a really underrated season. He finally broke through and got his first 2 wins of his career at Road America and Indianapolis, both on road courses. He's had the speed to run virtually anywhere, whether it be intermediate, short track. Well, short tracks maybe not, that's a bit of a weakness for him, but intermediate tracks and super speedways and the road courses he's had the speed for. I'd say for Reddick, he's a very underrated pick as well for the championship. I think he's a good dark horse pick for the championship too. Reddick has the talent and the team to go deep, but will there be any distractions since he will be in the lame duck season next year going to 23-11? And Richard Childress is still fucking pissed about Reddick all of a sudden leaving a week after they picked up his option. So that could play a question here. It's all about, can they keep that drama down to a minimum? That's the real question. So throughout this season, it looked like we were about to see it. We thought we were seeing the beginning of the end for Kevin Harvick. Hell, Harvick with around 3 or 4 races left in the regular season, he was like almost 100 points out in a must-win scenario from making the chase. Now, Harvick didn't have a bad season up to that point. It just wasn't the normal Kevin Harvick status quo we've been used to. But the moment we let our guard down, Kevin Harvick used some weird witchcraft voodoo magic and turned the clock back 5-10 years. And Harvick would then pull 2 wins right out. And Harvick is now looking like a legit dark horse contender for the championship. Like I said, it hasn't been a bad season from Harvick. It just wasn't the normal Harvick status quo, but now, could Harvick do it? I mean, he's made the Final Four 5 times in his career, looking for number 6. I mean, if there's anyone that could go deep and be a dark horse contender, Harvick definitely has to be it if he can turn the clock back again. So Christopher Bell, he has had somewhat of a breakout season. Like, it is the best season of his career so far. Like, he was able to get a win at New Hampshire, breaking through and finally winning. He almost had 2 wins this year, but fell 1 lap short to Kevin Harvick. Like, he's had a very good season. Like, I would say out of everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing this year, the best driver at JGR this year, no doubt it is Christopher Bell. I'd say Bell has been better than Kyle Busch this year. He's been better than Martin Truex Jr. I'd say he's better than Hamlin. I think Christopher Bell is truly coming into his own. So now the real question is, was the problem truly the 20 car? Or was it Erik Jones? That's now the real question. I mean, a deep chase run for Christopher Bell would prove that. Hell, last year Christopher Bell did the one thing that Erik Jones never did. Make it past the first round. Maybe Bell will add more insult to injury to the Jones fans. We shall see in this chase. Go deep, Bell. Go deep. So now we got Kyle Busch. Now Kyle Busch, he only had 1 win, and that was Bristol, where he backed into the win after Reddick and Briscoe made contact on the last lap. Just think of this, though. Without that win, Kyle Busch would have actually missed the chase because Truex is actually higher in points than Kyle Busch. Like, ever since Kyle Busch's win, Kyle Busch the first half of the regular season looked like a legit championship contender. And then after Gateway, cued Kyle Busch's summer from hell, where Kyle Busch just went onto a massive collapse. Like, this team is screaming early elimination. And you also add in the fact that we don't even know where Kyle Busch is even going to be next year with the contract talks about whether Kyle Busch is going to get fired from JGR or not, and where will he be next year. That's going to be a massive distraction here. Like, Kyle Busch easily should be a contender for the title, a dark horse contender, but I feel like all this drama behind the scenes is going to hold him back from his true potential this year. Don't set the expectations too high on Kyle Busch, but maybe, Kyle, you're almost free from this hellhole. Every year in the chase, there's always that one driver that has absolutely no business being anywhere near the chase, but gets in because of a win, because of the dumb win in your in stipulation. This year, I gave it a lot of thought, but I gotta give that award to Briscoe this year. Like, yes, Chase Briscoe, he did earn his win at Phoenix this year and dominated, but I'm going off of this based off what he has done since that win. And what has Briscoe really done after that win? Not really a whole lot. He's done next to nothing. Like, he's been pretty irrelevant most of the season. Well, other than when he wrecked Tyler Reddick for the win at Bristol on the last lap, which opened the door for Kyle Busch. But if Briscoe truly is going to be Harvick's successor at Stewart-Haas Racing, Briscoe's going to have to step it up and get his shit together, because so far, he's starting to look more like a dud, but he needs to step it up here. Maybe a deep chase run into the round of 12 under the right circumstances could do it, but I have my doubts. So Daniel Suarez is finally living up to expectations for the first time in his career. He got his first career win at Sonoma, becoming the 5th international driver to win a Cup race this year. And Daniel Suarez becomes the 2nd international driver to ever make the chase for the Cup. Of course, the last international driver to make the chase was Juan Pablo Montoya in 2009. And Montoya's run, he did okay. Wasn't good, but wasn't terrible, somewhere in the middle. I think Suarez could have something similar to that run. He has his good tracks and his bad tracks, but I think Suarez, he could go round of 12, maybe round of 8 under the right circumstances if everything plays out. But regardless of Suarez, this run, you have made Mexico proud regardless. You'll have all of Mexico behind you along with all your amigos, and you'll have everyone in the Mexico series rooting for you throughout this entire run. Go get it done. So for the 5th time in the Chase's history, we have had a rookie qualify for the Chase. And this year it was the guy we all expected to be Rookie of the Year contender. The winner for Rookie of the Year. And that is Austin Cindric, the former Xfinity Series champion. So of course Cindric with the 2-car, he got in the Chase with a win in the Daytona 500. And even though, and really after that win in the 500, he had his fair share of rookie growing pains, but he did have his fair share of ups and downs too. But I think Cindric, he could go deep in the Chase under the right circumstances. Like, out of the 4 previous rookies that have made the Chase, the only ones that have done anything worth a damn in the Chase were Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott. As Hamlin was a championship contender in his rookie season in 2006, and Chase made it all the way to the round of 12 in his rookie season. So maybe Cindric could have something similar to one of their 2 successes this year. Time will tell. Well, but Cindric, not many expectations for him. This is just a learning experience for Cindric. Cindric just here to learn the system so he can get stronger for next year. As long as he doesn't hit the sophomore slump, that is. So Alex Bowman rounds out the HMS trio, HMS foursome in the Chase this year. With Bowman, he got in with his win at Vegas earlier in the year. And Bowman, well, really, Bowman's been the same Alex Bowman we've known for a year, just very inconsistent. Like Bowman has the talent and the speed to do things, to be a championship contender. He just can't be consistent. That's the main problem with him. He just can't be consistent. He's very inconsistent. But his Vegas win, it did produce a lot of backing in the win t-shirts off of Kyle Busch's saltiness. Note, the only time Bowman truly backed into a win was Pocono last year. But Alex Bowman, maybe Bowman could surprise everybody and go to the round of 12, be another round of 12 elimination, or go to the round of 8 maybe. But my expectations to him are pretty low. This is Alex Bowman we're talking about. But for Bowman, no, I think HMS is already preparing for another disappointing run from Bowman, since Greg Ice will be stepping down from the pit box to stay at the shop full-time and be closer to family. So Alex Bowman will have a new crew chief next year. Honestly, this change needed to happen. If Bowman ends up being an early elimination, things need to change on that 48 team. They can't keep going out and doing the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. Especially when your 2 other teammates, Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, are both championship contenders. And you're supposed to be on that same tier as them. But Bowman, this is your get your shit together moment right here. Next year though, Bowman, you have no excuses. It's put up or shut up. Prove me wrong. So the final driver we have in the Chase is Austin Dillon. As Austin Dillon got in the Chase with his win at Daytona in the regular season finale, eliminating Truex in the process and making Kamikaze game salty as all hell. Now you're wondering, how come I gave Briscoe the undeserved spot in the Chase award over Dillon? Simply put, Dillon has kind of been more relevant than Briscoe the last few months. Dillon's actually had some pretty decent runs. Briscoe's just been there. But Austin Dillon, though, he's had some solid runs in the Chase in the past. He's had a couple round of 12 appearances. He's a serviceable midfielder at best. Just meh. But maybe Austin Dillon, he could have a deep Chase run under the right circumstances. He showed some good speed the last time we were in the Chase in 2020. Just had some bad luck in the round of 12 that did him in. But had the speed to go to maybe the round of 8. Maybe Dillon could do something like that again, but I have my doubts. So yeah, Dillon's expectations are next to none for this year. So now, here is your 16-man chase field all set up in the bracket here for the round of 16. So, our round of 16, we have Darlington for the Southern 500, Kansas, and the Bristol Night Race. So, out of these three races and out of these names, who do I got advancing to the round of 12? Let's find out. So here are the 12 drivers I have advancing to the round of 12 and my race winners highlighted in red. So for the Southern 500, I got Denny Hamlin winning that race. Yes, I think Hamlin will make it to the round of 12 this year. I just feel like Hamlin has some speed. I think Hamlin's going to be a dark horse this year. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. I'd say Hamlin is going to go up further than people may think. So I got Hamlin winning Darlington. Kansas, well, usually not a whole lot goes well at Kansas, so fuck it. I'm taking Kyle Busch to win Kansas. I mean, Kyle Busch has had speed at Kansas, especially when it's warmer weather than compared to the fall, so maybe this could be a good omen for Kyle Busch now that the chase race at Kansas is now in September. So yeah, we'll have to see there. And for the Bristol Night Race, I got that race going to Kyle Larson for the second year in a row. I mean, it's Larson's best track, and I'm going to make another prediction. Larson will win this race, not at the expense of Chase Elliott this time. So Elliott fans will have no excuses this time. And again, the other drivers I have, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell, and Daniel Suarez, and Austin Cindric, all advancing to the round of 12 on points. So for my 4 drivers eliminated, I have Austin Dillon, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman, and William Byron all eliminated in the first round of the chase. I mean, Dillon and Briscoe, both of them really have no business being anywhere near the chase, so that's kind of expected. I know a lot of people are surprised I have Bowman and Byron both out. Yes, I have 2 HMS cars out in the first round, because I'm such an HMS fanboy. Such a biased fanboy indeed. Like, Byron hasn't been the same since the Darlington incident with Logano. Only 1 top 10 finish since that incident. And Bowman's inconsistent as all hell. I just not feeling it for both Byron and Bowman this year. I just don't, like, for Byron's team, I don't know what you truly fix. Part of me feels like they should just stay the course with what they got and hope to rebound next year, but I feel like HMS is going to make some drastic changes to change the culture and make an example. Because Byron's season this year with 5 top 10s, that's unacceptable for HMS standards compared to what Larson and Chase Elliott have had this year. Like, that's pretty bad. Like, those are almost shitmobile tier numbers. Like, that's pretty bad for Byron. So, not feeling Byron or Bowman this year in the chase. So, yeah, there are my 12 drivers right there. So, now to round of 12, we have Texas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval. So, out of these 12, who do I got advancing to the round of 8? Let's find out. So, here are my 8 drivers I have advancing to the round of 8. So, of course, for Texas, I got Joey Logano winning that race because Texas is fucking ass and nothing right goes well at that track except last year with Kyle Larson. So, fuck it, I got Logano winning that race because fuck it. Talladega, I feel like if there's any track Ryan Blaney is going to get 1 win at this year, it's going to be Talladega. Now, originally for Talladega, I had this race going to Kurt Busch. But since we don't have a clue about what Kurt Busch's status is going to be, I think he's done the rest of the season. So, I'm going to go with a plan B because we all know Dega's a fucking crapshoot. So, I'm just going to play it safe and say Ryan Blaney wins Talladega. And the Charlotte Roval, I got that race going to Chase Elliott for the 3rd time in 4 years. To be honest, Chase Elliott had the fastest car last year, and he should have won last year if he didn't get in that pissing match with Kevin Harvick. But at least Kyle Larson won that race, though, so there's that. But I think Chase Elliott gets redemption and gets his 3rd win at the Roval in 4 years. And I got Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Kevin Harvick, and Christopher Bell all making it to the round of 8 on points. So the 4 drivers I have out are Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez, And I have Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch out in the round of 12. I mean, Cindric's a rookie. I feel like this is the max his ceiling could go. I just feel like it's just a learning experience for Cindric. So, just Cindric trying to learn the system, get better for next year. Suarez, I think Suarez could go round of 8, but I just feel like something's going to happen to him in this round, whether it be at Texas or Talladega. I think he'll have speed for the Roval, but I feel like either he's going to have a problem at Texas or Talladega that's going to put him in a must-win scenario entering the Roval. And I'm just not seeing Suarez get out of that hole. Denny Hamlin, I feel like he's going to get caught in the big one at Talladega, or he gets caught up in something at Texas or the Roval. Like, this round just does not sit well with him this year. And Kyle Busch, Kyle Busch has shit luck on super speedways. His best chance is winning Texas. And the Roval, other than last year, Kyle Busch has not had good runs at the Roval except last year when he had a top 5. So I'm not feeling Kyle Busch. And plus, with that contract, talk about Kyle Busch's future at JGR, I feel like that's going to play a distraction to him, and that's going to hold Kyle Busch back. So I have Kyle Busch out in the round of 12. So, there are my 8 drivers here. So now, the round of 8, we have Las Vegas, Homestead, Miami, and Martinsville. Out of these 8, who do I have making the Final 4 this year for the championship? AKA, which 4 drivers am I jinxing this year because I never learned my lesson? Didn't. So here is my Final 4 for 2022 this year. So here are the 4 drivers I have competing for the Bill France Cup this year. So, Las Vegas, I have that race going to Joey Logano because the odd thing about Las Vegas is the Penske cars always weirdly are fast at Las Vegas. They always have speed. And Logano's usually pretty good at Vegas as well. Like, Logano's won at Vegas twice in his career. And you know, like I mentioned earlier in the video, Logano has always made the Final 4 on an even number of years. So I feel like Logano, he's going to pull some strategy move like either taking 2 tires or gas only or staying out on a late caution to get the lead and get the win at Las Vegas. I mean, that's how Bowman won earlier this year, was on a strategy call. So I feel like Logano's going to do that, and that's how Logano will bullshit his way into the Final 4 this year. Homestead, Miami, I have that going to Tyler Reddick, and I think that's how Reddick makes the Final 4. Like, I think Reddick's best chance to make the Final 4 is winning Homestead. Like, Homestead is one of his best track. He was damn dominant on that track in Xfinity. He had speed in Cup there last year. Like, he probably would have won that race. If that race probably had 5-10 more laps, he would have ran down William Byron and passed him for the win. Because he was running Byron down but ran out of time. I think this time Reddick will get the job done. And I think Tyler Reddick is going to surprise some people and will make the Final 4. And at Martinsville, I got Martinsville going to Chase Elliott because, yeah, Chase Elliott's dominant at Martinsville. So I got Chase Elliott getting Martinsville. And I debated about this one. I have Kyle Larson getting the final spot in on points. So, in the end, I have Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, and Christopher Bell all eliminated in the round of 8. Kevin Harvick, like, Martinsville's one of his worst tracks, and he hasn't really had much speed on the intermediates, so I'm not really sold on him, but I think round of 8's a good run for him either way. Christopher Bell, this is a pretty deep run, but the Toyotas just haven't had a whole lot of speed this year, to be honest. They've kind of fallen off the last little bit. Like, Bell's like the only one that's had speed so far. But I feel like something's going to happen to Bell either Vegas or Homestead or hell, even Martinsville, and that's going to take him out. And then Ryan Blaney, I feel like something happens to him at either Vegas or Homestead. Like, he usually struggles at Homestead. And Martinsville, he probably could have won a couple races, but it's had some bad luck there. So in the end, and for Ross Chastain, I almost put Chastain in over Kyle Larson. But in the end, I feel like Ross Chastain's reputation with the garage, with how many people he's run over, I feel like that's going to catch up to him. And I think a lot of people are going to wait till this round and wait till it matters the most to get their payback on Chastain. Because there are a lot of people that are waiting till the chase to get back at Chastain. Or at least make Chastain's life a living hell. And I think it's going to come down to Chastain and Larson on points at Martinsville. And I feel like everyone's going to do everything in their power to make sure Chastain doesn't make it to the Final 4. So in the end, my final four: Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Larson. Out of these four, at Phoenix, who do I got winning the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series Championship? So now, for my 2022 Cup Series Championship prediction, well, the last 2 years, I've gotten the champion right the last 2 years. So out of the four, so Logano just hasn't had a whole lot of speed, except maybe, Gateway has a lot of similarities to Phoenix, so maybe he could get it done, but I'm just not sure if Logano's going to be there. I think Logano is just going to be there just for the stat. Tyler Reddick had a good run there in the spring, but I feel like RCR is going to hold him back and try and sabotage him, as Richard Childress is going to try and get back at Reddick for leaving to go to 23-11 in 2024. So try and screw Reddick over there. So some backstage drama there. So I think in the end, it's going to be between Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. I think it's going to be between those two. And usually when you look at those two going head-to-head on 1-2 finishes, Larson leads that series 6-1. The only time Chase Elliott has beaten Kyle Larson in a 1-2 finish was Coda last year when it was rain shortened. So Chase has never beaten Kyle Larson straight up. But there was an interesting point here I made in 2020, and that is, if you give Chase Elliott the right equipment and you put him at Phoenix with a shot to win the championship, it's right there for the taking. And I feel like, you know what? If there is a time for Chase Elliott to finally beat Kyle Larson straight up in a 1-2 finish, it'll be at Phoenix when it absolutely matters the most. So with that all said, I'm going to go Chase Elliott as my championship prediction for this year. I just think it's Chase Elliott's championship to lose this year. So yeah, I think Chase Elliott will win a second championship in 3 years. So yeah, Chase Elliott, I think, will be the 2022 Cup Series champion and will deny Kyle Larson going back-to-back. It was tough. This was a tough one. This year it's wide open for the championship this year. At one point I was thinking going Chastain, but I feel like Chastain's reputation is going to cost him the championship. And, I think Larson, just reliability issues, I'm not feeling that. I just feel like that's going to cost Larson. So I think Chase Elliott has just been a better all-around driver this year. So I think this is Chase Elliott's title to lose. So that is my championship prediction. It's Chase Elliott this year. So surprising. But yeah, anyway, those are my Chase prediction. What are yours? Let's debate down in the comments. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Hope everyone's a great day. I got 2 vlogs coming out this weekend, so look forward to those 2. But yeah, anyway, hope everyone's a great day, and I'll see you all whatever I make next. Peace out. Now watch half of these predictions be wrong after round 1, because that's my luck.